Welcome to another GCBASIC demonstration. This one's for EEPROM support. We've had EEPROM support in various guises for a number of years, but I've added a new capability where from your program you can actually populate the EEPROM very easily. So let's have a look at that in an emulator to start with. Well, I don't want to get too hung up on the emulator itself, but I'm just going to show you what it does. And so what I've done, we're going to run this program and we're going to see it put some text on there. And that text has just appeared on the screen, PM2 laser, Fabrice angle, etc. Now, where did it get that from? It got that from the EEPROM. And in GCBASIC, to populate the EEPROM would be rather difficult. It would take up a lot of memory, but now it's simplified, and I'll show you how. This text here, PMW laser, Fabrice, etc., is all inside the EEPROM. So how did we get it inside the EEPROM? Well, we're going to go back into our GCBASIC program and we're going to see what we've done. Well, what we've got is I've got a chip, and the chip happens to be, we've seen this all before in GCBASIC, specify the chip, option explicit, and some serial commands. Very simple, get it all set up. And what I've done is actually, I've got my data set down the bottom just for ease. Look, I'll show you, and here it is. Here's a data set. There's a number of data sets I put in here so we can look through these. Here's a data set at offset 10. Here's some data at offset 20. And here's some data offset D, hexadecimal D, some data, more data at 4. And the compiler simply puts this into the correct space, the memory space for the EEPROM. What our program does is essentially read that with a for next loop, pulls it out from the EEPROM when it's loaded, and then it just puts it on the serial port. Really simple. So this new command is called EEPROM. You give it specify EEPROM, give it a unique name and the address that you want the data to sit at. So let me just compile it up. Compiles it up, and we'll look at the assembler. And in the assembler, which we're looking at now, we can see that there's a series of data sets here. There's one at 4, there's one at D, there's one at 2101, is that correct? It must be. And one at 20 hex. Let's have a look. And these are, oh, there we go. These are our data sets that we've created. So it's automatically put those into the assembly file. And then when we load that, and I'm going to load up this again, when we load the hex in, we can see it's loaded it in here, and it says, oh, 2022. Let's change that. Let's just change that in our source to 2023. And my guess is that I'm not reading enough of this file, so I'll just read another 4 bytes of that, assemble that up, just pop out of that and just reload that file. And we can now see in here it says November 23, which is great. Go into the visual component, and we can now see we have November 2023 on the screen. So what we've got, new command, enables you to create very simple entries inside of the EEPROM. You can use all manner of string types. You can use strings, you can put escape characters in, etc. All the normal things that you'd expect. Alongside the historic one that's been part of GCBASIC or GCBASIC for a long time, called table, and you've been able to put those bytes inside of EEPROM as well. But you've had to do some trickery to make that work in terms of having a particular call to load those in. So if we look here, we've got 2 bytes, store data. Where's that put that? Let's have a look at our assembler. And we've got a table called 2 bytes, and we've got some data. We got 55, AA 55. Look back at my source program. It's the same. And what is different about this, it always goes in at offset 0. And if we try to create a data set at offset 0, it will just complain. The compiler will issue a suitable warning. So what have we seen? We've seen an easy way to create EEPROM information and reset, reset defaults, etc. within the EEPROM from GCBASIC. And that's what I wanted to show you today. It's pretty simple. I will call that a wrap.